This and every episode of the podcast is supported by 35 Bikes. 35 Bikes are dedicated to bringing you the best bike components for the best price. So whether you need organic, semi-metal or sintered brake pads, a new narrow-wide chainring, mudguards or brake rotors, make sure to ask for 35 Bikes in your local bike shop, or head to 35bikes.com for more information or to find your local stockist. You're listening to the Hookit podcast, proudly brought to you by hookitproducts.co.uk.
Riders ready? Watch the gate.
Oh, yeah!
What's up, folks? Welcome back to another episode of the Hookit podcast. Thank you for tuning in and checking out another one of our episodes. It's awesome to have you here. Thank you very much. And before we start this episode, I wanted to quickly kind of try and help with the situation. So I'm not sure if everyone out there saw this, but GT Bikes, their marketing manager, a guy called Andrew Cho, was unfortunately paralysed just after Christmas after a riding incident. And it only seemed fitting that, although not necessarily tied to GT in any way, we've got Brook Macdonald on the show this week who rides for GT Bikes, and I wanted to try, if humanly possible, to raise some awareness for Andrew Cho's GoFundMe campaign. Obviously there's a lot of costs involved with Andrew's situation, and if we can, even with the limited availability that we have with this podcast, if we can try and raise some awareness and a little bit more money, that would be awesome. So in the show description there is a link to Andrew Cho's GoFundMe, which will all be going to his increased medical bill and all that sort of stuff. So again, it only seemed fitting. I'm not entirely sure we can do a lot, but hopefully the mountain bike community is small enough that we can all rally together and try and help the guy out. So like I said, the link to Andrew Cho's GoFundMe page will be in the show description. And in other news, we have the Bike Place show coming up this weekend at Silverstone for us at Hookit. We've got a bunch of stuff happening for our dealers. We've got an industry first look at a new joystick product. We also have an industry first look at the new Ninja's gloves range. So for all our dealers out there who do listen to this podcast, see you at the weekend. It runs from Sunday through to Tuesday at Silverstone. And make sure you come over, say hello, tell us that you listen, and hopefully you share this episode to everyone out there and help raise some awareness for Andrew. I think that's pretty important. That's about all news-wise. I don't want to keep holding this thing up, but I felt I had to do that. On this week's show, obviously, we have Bulldog, Brook Macdonald. Awesome guest, really nice conversation. Is a rad dude, really settling into his ride now on GT Bikes. And he does talk a little bit about the bikes, a few team switches and all that sort of stuff. And it's an interesting conversation, so hopefully you enjoy it. So, am I going to say it? I'm trying to stop saying that term. Not without further ado. Okay, I've said it. Welcome to the show, Brook Macdonald. All right, Brook, we are rocking and rolling, dude. So,
sweet.
Welcome to the show, man. Much appreciated. Thank you for doing this. Again, sorry for the rushing around a little bit, but we got there in the end.
No worries.
I like to kick things off by letting you do like your own brief introduction to who you are and like what you do. So, crack on.
Sweet. I'm Brook Macdonald, just a young fella from New Zealand, based in New Zealand. I race downhill professionally for GT Factory Racing, and I travel the world for 6 months of the year.
Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it, when you say it like that?
Yeah, it is, especially when you go summer to summer too. So
yeah,
I can't complain.
Beautiful.
Can't complain about my job at all.
Nah, it's pretty bad for some of the English guys. I think this time of year, because it's been raining for a few days now. It's really cold. Like, if I know you can't see me, but I'm sat here in my house with a woolly hat and a coat on because I forgot to leave the heating on. So
I could imagine. I could imagine. I don't think I'd like to be there.
No,
this time of the year trying to train.
Mate, it sucks. It's not the one, but I guess the English guys just have to knuckle down and get on. I saw like Danny Hart posted a photo the other day up at Descend Hamsterley, and looked atrocious. It didn't look fun.
Yeah, no, not at all.
So
That's why those guys have a bit of advantage riding mud over us.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So do you get much rain there in New Zealand at all, or is it pretty much sweet all the time?
We do, but the last 4 or 5 weeks we haven't. Well, where I am, we haven't had any rain, so it's been pretty dry.
Right.
But just depending on the summer, I mean, we do get rain, but it tends to not rain when we're riding or racing our bikes. So.
Yeah. Just lucky.
It's just lucky. It's always good to have races where it rains, though. Just I don't know, just to
especially
get
there's a lot
skills
of
back.
the World Cups are in Europe, and I guess it's pretty much 50-50 a lot of the time whether it's going to rain or not. There's a few wet ones this year, I think, wasn't there? Well, last season.
There was a few wet ones. Lords.
Yeah, Lords
that was pretty atrocious.
Yeah.
Where else? There was a couple other ones.
My memory's terrible right now.
So was mine. I think Mount St. Anne might have had a bit of rain.
Yeah, it might have. Yeah, you're right. But hey, it's all good. It's all good, man. But
you got to deal with it.
You got to deal with it. Whereabouts in New Zealand are you based, anyway?
Based in Hawke's Bay on the east coast, middle of the North Island. So right next to the beach, pretty nice.
Oh, beautiful. I saw you posted a photo the other day riding mini bikes on the beach. Wasn't jealous of that at all, honestly.
We've got a pretty good spot where I am, so I'm pretty lucky.
Beautiful. So a lot of the people we've had on recently have been like a lot. I don't really know how to put this, but a lot bigger guests than what we originally started off with. Like, I started this off like literally just talking to friends, recording it, and it's been really crazy. I know we were just talking before, but to see it grow and like, it's nuts. But anyway,
it's awesome. It's good to see.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. You came back pretty quick to us when we said, "Do you want to be a guest?" I mean, do you listen to podcasts like usually anyway, or?
I mean, when I have time, I listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
Not very often, but if something comes of interest on there, I do tend to listen to some. But
cool. It's always interesting because, like Luca, for example, was straight away. Like, I emailed him and he came like straight back to me, like, "Yeah, when do you want to do it?" I was like, "Whoa,
yes, it's cool.
Chill out, that's rad, that's cool." So it's good that we seem to have started a bit of a thing with our podcast, and then there's a few other guys that are jumping on it now. Vital have just started one, which is really good. There's another company, Descent World. They've got one which is really good. So
awesome.
Yeah, there's
I know Shimano's got one as well. I've done a podcast with Shimano.
Oh, really?
Before too, yeah.
Oh man, I didn't know that. I'll check that one out. Hey, there's definitely enough room for people out there to have more than one. That's for sure. I think.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. When I saw the Vital one, I was a bit like, that's huge. Like, they've got such a big platform, and like, I wouldn't say jealous, but it was like, oh man, it must mean that we're doing something right.
At least you're starting somewhere.
Yeah.
You got to start somewhere. That company's, I mean, that following on
it's epic.
Their side is pretty big. So
it is big.
Yeah.
And it was really good. The first one that they threw down with, oh god, who was it? I can't remember. It was good anyway. I can't remember.
They do an interview with a rider?
Yeah, they did a rider, but I can't remember who the hell it was. That sucks. Like, I feel really bad that I don't remember who that was. Elliot Jackson? Yeah, it could have been.
Oh, yeah, it could have been. Could have been Elliot Jackson.
Yeah, it was really good anyway. But that's by the by. Anyway, so how was last season for you? Let's get things started with that. It looked, result-wise, like it was a bit all over the place. Starting off in Lords in the mud.
Sure.
But on the whole, like, how was the season?
It was. I mean, I enjoyed it for sure. I always enjoy traveling overseas, but it was frustrating for sure because I felt like I had done everything right in my off season. I felt like I was riding good, but I just struggled with the bike a lot. Getting used to that.
Yeah.
I didn't actually have much time on it before Lords.
Oh, really? So obviously you changed from Trek over to GT, right?
Yeah. I went from Trek to GT, and it was kind of a quick sort of. Well, I sort of knew about it midway through the season. And then we kind of just got the ball rolling and got it going. And being a new team, there's a lot of organisation to be done.
Yeah.
So it's just, just learned a lot throughout the year, how different people run different things.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely enjoyed it, and am looking forward to this year. Just hopefully can better my results from last year. Just,
Okay.
I mean, I felt like my speed was there, but the bike, I struggled a lot with the bike.
That's natural, though, isn't it, man? I think when you've jumped
Yeah.
from one thing to the other, you need time just to figure it out. So,
Yeah, definitely.
roughly, how long did you have like testing and stuff before Lords?
Oh man, I didn't do much testing
A couple
at
of days
all.
or something.
I got the bike middle of January. Did a few races on that. Did a bit of riding, and then went to California. Did a little bit of riding there. Nothing. Did some testing, but
Yeah.
I mean, you can only do so much on a track that's not really up to World Cup standards. So it's quite hard to, your bike might feel good on that, but come to a World Cup, it could feel totally opposite.
Totally
So
different, yeah. I guess
it's
the tracks in California maybe are a little tamer, that's for sure, than a World Cup track.
yeah, definitely, yeah, for sure. And I think it's probably really important to test on a track that's similar to what we race on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't get much time at all, and which is pretty. I was pretty gutted because I definitely wanted to come into the season strong. I felt strong.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I guess, lack of testing and riding time.
Yeah, that's natural.
And yeah, so
as the season went on,
it was a frustrating season for
right.
sure.
Okay. But there's some solid results in there. MSA especially was a good one. 8th at MSA.
Yeah.
Height of the season.
Mount
which
St.
is
Anne
rad.
was good.
That's good.
Yeah, for sure. I was stoked with that.
Yeah.
That's where I felt I definitely needed to do some changes to the bike, because I felt like that run was at least, a top 3, top 5 run, and I was like on the limit. I was on the limit of my riding.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, after that I kind of was a bit pissed off, and just needed to make some changes, and I think moving forward for this year we've got some pretty good things happening.
Anything
so
like
yeah,
massive,
I'm looking forward to that.
what's the biggest sort of change you think you're gonna undergo from 2015 to 16, you know what I mean, 16, 17?
Yeah, we got a new bike coming, so
oh really?
Going to be testing next month
Right.
in Queenstown, which will be good.
So totally fresh bike, like different chassis, like frame, everything.
No, same frame, just a few changes on that,
Right.
to make it a bit different from what we're riding now.
Okay.
Nothing drastic, but just, I think, good changes for us.
Just personalising a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, just more of our input from like the riders, from Sambo, Wynn and myself.
Yeah.
I think it'll be good.
For sure. Sounds good. Definitely.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
I don't want to dwell too much on last year, but what do you feel your high of 2016 was?
My high, probably Mount St. Anne for sure.
Okay.
Definitely that, because that was my first top 10 of the year.
Yep.
It's always good to break into the top 10.
Always, mate. Love the top 10.
Yeah, for sure.
and the low of 2016? Sorry.
Low.
I wrote that down and I was just like, nah.
Probably would have been Lords for sure. I don't know, I just haven't really got on with that track too well.
Yeah.
Last 2 years we've been there, so
Okay.
yeah, that was definitely a low.
I think is it the first one this
took
season?
a big slam there. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
I think just the weather wise and that sort of thing, like trying to adapt to that cold weather from being in the heat is quite hard. I find.
can imagine. Yeah, it's always a bit of a culture shock, isn't it, when you get into some different weather patterns. I've found that in my lifetime a few times too. It's amazing how it makes you feel too. Like, yeah, a little bit of rain, it kind of depresses you a little bit and makes you just want to stay indoors.
Yeah, definitely. Yep, no, for sure. So I think Lords was probably my lowest race of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. It got better from there, dude. End of the day.
Yeah. Exactly. No injuries. That's the main thing too.
Yeah. And what do you feel like is the most fun event, like, in 2016?
The most fun event? Most fun event would... I enjoyed... I enjoyed Seattle. I enjoyed the dual slalom there.
Okay.
That was pretty fun.
Yeah, Seattle looks fun. That's one race that I'd like to go and check out, to be honest. That looks like, I don't know, kind of chilled out a little bit more like Crankworks. Just hang out.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we didn't do much there. We just hung out there and raced the dual slalom, which was pretty sick because, I mean, it's nothing serious and we had a real good time. So yeah, for sure, would have been the dual slalom at Seattle.
Sweet. Yeah,
Crankworks is always good as well.
Yeah, I've never been to Whistler. Like, a lot of my friends have been to Whistler, like most of them, obviously. But I never made it over there. I had all my friends, like, I'm going to get a little personal here, but all my friends moved to Whistler for a year, like, did the thing in about 2007, I don't know. And the only person who didn't go was me because I couldn't get a visa to get in. So,
bummer,
man. So I've always wanted to go and check it out, but I just never had found chance. But it's definitely on the bucket list. Ollie, who is one of the co-owners of Hookit as well, he went over last year for his birthday for a month. And,
sick!
Yeah, it's rad. I really want to get over there.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good place for riding and partying and all that sort of stuff. So if you're into that, you enjoy it.
Definitely. And obviously Joe, who's a good friend of mine, Bowman from Steel City Media, goes over there at least once or twice a year, and he's always like, just jump on it, come with us. Oh man, we've been so busy though. Like, obviously I've got Hookit to run as well at the same time, and that takes up quite a lot of time and all that sort of stuff. So it just hasn't fallen yet, but you never know this year. It might just happen.
It could be a business trip.
It could be.
Yeah, you might as well just put it down as a business trip.
It's going to have to be, dude. It's going to have to be. It's going to have to happen. That and back to California for a little while as well. So we'll see.
Yeah. I noticed you Sheffield boys speak similar.
Yeah, of course.
It's quite funny. Your voice kind of sounds like Jobo's.
Does it? Okay, yeah. Me and Joe live, like, we grew up really close to each other. So he lives about 10 minutes from where I grew up. Obviously, I've known Joe for many years now, like probably 10 years or something. And then I'm guessing I'll probably sound similar to like Tom Duncan. We all sound quite similar. You know, it's weird. I've got my accent back, but I lost it for a while too. Like, I lived away for a long time in the States, and I kind of lost my accent, I think. And then now I've gone back to being all like Yorkshire. And
Yorkshire,
At least you can understand me, mate. That's the main thing.
Yeah. That's the main thing. At least I can understand you.
Don't sound anything like Bryceland. You know, he lives like half an hour away, but sounds totally different to me.
Yeah, he's a struggle. He's a struggle to listen to.
It's nuts in the UK. Like, you
hard
can
to understand.
15 minutes and people sound totally different. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's probably the same over there.
Yeah, it is the same in New Zealand too.
It's crazy. So anyway, the off season kind of is coming up, I guess, to an end. What does your off season usually look like? Is it mainly just kind of chilling and enjoying New Zealand, or I tend to some races and stuff too, but
I tend to take a bit of time off when I come home from the last World Cup. Maybe like, I don't know, 2.5 months, and then get back into training around November, start of November.
Okay.
And that pretty much carries on until I leave for the first World Cup. Just had 3 national races in the North Island.
Yeah, so what happened with that? So I don't know the full story of this. I'm going to sound probably a little bit dum-dum, but did the New Zealand national champs get cancelled? Or is that
No, the New Zealand national champs is still on, but Bike NZ just pulled the pin of running a whole national series. I don't know.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
didn't
that
read
makes sense.
too much into it, but it was pretty stupid on their end, I think. But yeah, it's sick what what people can do around here. Like
Yeah.
Dave Hamilton, the guy who organised the whole national series, I think it took him a week. He just rang up
Really?
each different club.
Yeah, that's what
And
I
they
saw,
all-
that like a bunch of clubs just got together and said, we'll just do it ourselves then if there's no sort of... I'm guessing,
Yeah.
what is it, New Zealand, whatever it is, it's kind of like our British cycling that kind of oversees everything and puts events together and stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah, so he did that, and yeah, he got it, 6 races in a week, and $60 for entry fee, and winner of the day takes, I think, $450 home. So it's
pretty good.
It's pretty good, and for a national, international, it's like $120, and you don't even get any prize money. It's stupid. It's like, why? What are the the future of our sport are getting out of this? They're like paying all this money and they are winning, but they're not winning anything.
Yeah. No, it's rad.
It's ridiculous.
That's
yeah,
real
it
cool.
is.
And how the race has been, and they've been like good attendance because everyone's kind of got behind it a little bit as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's been strong like 130 riders at most races.
Right. That's right.
The 3 races I've done, yeah, so it's pretty sick.
How have you got on in those anyway? Have they been good?
Yes, I mean...
you got some money in your pocket?
Yeah, no, it's been good. It's always good just to get back into racing and, blow off the cobwebs. Mm-hmm. I don't really get to I don't really ride my downhill bike much in the off season, but been trying to ride it a lot more than I often do. So it's been good. I've been enjoying it for sure.
Yeah. That's one thing I was going to ask you about a little later on, but like coming back to what you said about the youth and stuff. Obviously, New Zealand's a hell of a long way away from a lot of the World Cup events. So do you think that kind of like hinders talent coming out of New Zealand because it's a little bit harder than a lot of other countries that are maybe European or something like that? Oh,
for sure. It's Europe has a massive advantage over us for that side of things.
Yeah.
But it's also hard for the kids, that travel from here and race the World Cups, because when I first started racing, I could ride with the likes of Blinky and those big boys and actually, see what sort of speed you need to be up there, whereas nowadays, they've got 2 A and B practice, so it's quite hard for those kids who are the first races. They don't really get to
gauge yourself against you guys,
obviously.
sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think I've noticed like a lot of New Zealand kids that go over and race have high expectations, and like I for sure didn't have that when I went over there. Kind of just went over there to ride my bike and have fun, and it all kind of fell into place with hard work. And I think a lot of the kids have high expectations on themselves to do well and don't succeed at that.
Yeah.
They put a lot of pressure on themselves.
Pressure on, yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you get your first kind of break then? Like, how did you go from being this young ripper in New Zealand to getting a deal and racing World Cups?
Well, I first went overseas in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
Raced 2 World Cups, qualified at them both, Fort William and Andorra. So I was pretty stoked on that. I never,
Did you do that like off your own back then as well? Like you just financed it yourself? Obviously, that's elite. Obviously, not junior. That's...
No, yeah. Well, I was junior, but elite. How it works.
Yeah,
and then I raced World Champs in Val de Sol, and I finished 5th there.
Okay.
And then picked up a ride with Ancelotti, Italian brand, for 2009 with Win.
With
Win
Win,
Masters.
of course, yeah. I remember the forecast stuff as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we raced... I didn't race a full World Cup season. I think Win did.
Mm-hmm.
And, I just raced pretty much Europe and did a bunch of Italian Cups and IXS. Yeah, and then won Junior World Champs in 2009, and from there I rode for MS Mondraker, MS Evil then.
Right, yeah,
for,
MS Evil
I think
first.
two or 3 years, 2 years I think, and then 3 years, and then a year on Mondraker, and then Trek World Racing.
Okay. Is it like a huge jump then when it goes from like being a smaller privateer team, I guess satellite team I'd call it, I don't know if that's a technical term, but then like you jump onto like a Trek like factory deal? Is it a massive difference for you as a rider? Like, do you get a lot more support and stuff like that?
Yeah, for sure, but I found like the way I was put into it, I had to pay when I was on MS Evil. I paid, I think I paid for some flights, but I had to pay for my food and sleep on the bus, and I felt like that really, kind of opened my eyes to like, I can do better than this, and I can, make a salary and be staying in a hotel and that sort of thing. And I think, like, looking back on it now, I appreciate it a lot. A lot of how, all my hard work that I've done has paid off. I haven't just gone onto a factory ride, with a salary, everything paid for. Whereas, it's kind of, you look back and you're like, yeah, I definitely deserve where I am now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it makes a big difference, with a factory ride. Obviously with all the help, mechanic and that sort of thing. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah, but I felt
like, I felt like, sleeping on the bus with MS Evil.
Yeah,
to kind of made things a lot better when I could, actually stay in hotels and apartments and that sort of thing. So
get a good sleep, focus on actually riding the bike, kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's cool. It's good to see, like, how you can progress over,
like you said there, man,
so many years.
It makes you realise where you've come and kind of not take it for granted and stuff,
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of relating it back to moto, you see that a lot of those guys in the States now, I don't know if you're a moto fan, but like, then there's a lot of guys not getting rides and stuff like that, and you can tell that they're just busting the balls to get on a decent team.
Yeah,
it just takes the strain off so much.
Yeah, for sure. It's exactly like moto. They and that I think, like, the same with those guys. Their parents pour a lot of money into them, and
definitely. It's been cool watching some of those guys. I mean, Dean Wilson, for example, pretty much privateer right now. It's crazy watching that. Like, I've been really lucky I kind of know Dean.
Sweet.
In like a roundabout way, I know his dad a little bit better, but it's really cool seeing where like Dean had come from. Like, his family gave up everything to move over there. Obviously living in Scotland before, and it's kind of crazy to see where he's at now and how hard he's working to get himself a deal again. And you're just kind of hoping and praying every round that he gets in the top 10 or something, just so he gets something. But
for sure. Yeah, like him, he's a good example. He's had so many good factory rides, but been so unlucky with injuries, and his talent is unbelievable. But when you don't have that factory ride, it makes things so much harder. But then, all his hard work it will pay off, and I'm sure he'll get something.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm going to totally switch topics here, so excuse me. But obviously, just kind of going back to like the off-season stuff, training-wise, when we do these, like, we get a lot of messages from people, especially like listener questions and stuff like that. And most people, especially with you, have been like, I want to know about his training. Like, what does he do to train, etc. So I'm going to let you sum it up yourself. But training-wise, obviously you said you ride your trail bike a little bit of enduro. What else? Yep. What else do you do to keep strong, keep bulldogging?
So my average week looks. I have what I do. 6 days training and then a rest day. So I do, like, Monday, I do a gym session and then cardio. So it's either on the road bike or the trail bike, and then Tuesday I do just a road or trail ride, just depending on what session I've been given. Wednesday sort of similar to Monday. Thursday similar to Tuesday, and then same for Friday. And then I'd ride either skills on a Saturday or moto, and then a rest day Sunday.
Okay.
So it's a pretty busy week.
Sounds like a pretty fun week there to me.
Yeah.
Could be a lot worse, eh?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I enjoy about my training is it's all pretty
Keep
fun,
it
and
fun.
like
Yeah.
I'm not waking up in the morning and being like, oh, I've got to go to the gym and spend 2 hours at the gym and go out on the road bike and do this sort of stuff. So like it's all, my coach is pretty good. He keeps everything pretty simple, but pretty hard at the same time. And so I can enjoy it because we do more training in the off season than we do in the on season with racing bikes and traveling. So
yeah. So you said you have a trainer.
Yeah. So
is it just you who works like one-on-one with that guy, or is there a crew?
No. Not a personal trainer, but a coach who's based in Christchurch. And I just, I talk to him on a regular basis and just tell him how all my stuff's going, and then we communicate pretty good and just give all my stuff to him on the internet, and it works out pretty good.
Log kind of thing. That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's pretty easy and it's pretty simple. So
yeah, I think Danny was saying that when I had Danny Hart on here. He was saying that he logs into something. I can't remember the app, fitness log or something. Then his trainer also logs in and takes out his data.
Yeah, I use it. Yeah, I use a app called Training Peaks.
Okay.
People will be pretty familiar to that if they're into all that sort of stuff. So yeah.
Okay.
But cool. It's it depending on the week, it can be pretty hard. It's just all about.
I think
all
it's
about
become a lot more important. Definitely, like, would you say?
Oh yeah,
that,
for sure.
Like since I've been following downhill, which is probably around the time you kind of turned pro, it seems to have become way more important to be training.
Definitely.
A lot of sports. For sure.
From when I first started racing to now, like, I've noticed the intensity of training has gone up so much. Like when I first started racing, I didn't even really know what training was.
Yeah.
And I just kind of rode my bike and, just kind of relied on my build, my body, my build of my body and that sort of thing. And then, I guess when I figured out like everyone else was training and that sort of thing is when I, had to stick my head down and
who do you think was the guy that who was the dude that made everyone start training, do you think? Or training harder,
Yeah, I don't know. I guess Aaron Gwynn when he come in.
Yeah. Again, I'm going to relate it to moto that like Ricky Carmichael kind of set that bar so high that everyone had to start training their ass off. And I guess at some point obviously everyone will have been training to some extent, but it's definitely ramped up now like a millionfold.
Yeah, definitely.
So you reckon like Aaron and G?
Yeah, Aaron, probably G. Everyone, look at G and he looks like he's some guy off
some
like
specimen of a downhill rider. That guy.
Yeah, it's like he should be entered in like a bodybuilding competition. Like when I first seen him, I was like, holy shit, he's a big dude. He's pretty well built. So I think
Welsh, dude. It's tough living over there,
Yeah. I think also like the racing, how close the racing has got as well. I think everyone has each year stepped up their training through racing, like just because the gap between the first and 10th is so close. Sure. You kind of can figure off of that how fit everyone is.
Yeah. Well, people always kind of compare downhill like to the Formula One of mountain biking, and it is like, especially now, it's coming down to such tight tolerances. Like you said, the top 5, 6, 7 are often within a second of each other.
It's not much at all. Whereas back back in the day, from first to fifth, there could have been 5 to 10 seconds.
Yeah, for sure. It must be hard as well. Like, I was talking to Lucas Shaw about it on the last show. That like, it must be hard to get your head into gear, knowing that you've got one run to literally make shit happen. I've done a few downhill races. I actually raced. You did Threadbow not that long ago, I think, right? Or maybe that was last year.
I raced that last year.
Yeah, I did that a while back now. It was really good. I really enjoyed that place. But I've not done many downhill races, but that's one thing I really struggled with. And every time I've done a downhill race, again, coming from a motocross background, where you've got usually another motor or two afterwards if you've had a bad one to kind of make it up, or you've got another lap or 10 laps or 20 laps or whatever. I always find
you crash,
it really
you can get
hard.
back up and make places up, eh?
Exactly, yeah, and you've got someone in front of you to focus on, and that's one thing I always really struggled with downhill, was getting your head into gear and being like, right, I just need to go as fast as I can, as hard as I can, on my own, and I always found it so alien to do it that way, like,
yeah, some people do, eh? It's just, I think the more races you do and the more you learn, you kind of get the gist of how to do it.
Mm-hmm. And I guess going through like a regular World Cup weekend, you keep an eye on like where everyone else is at, so you know where you're at, sort of thing as well. It's not kind of going in blind, is it?
No, not at all.
You know what everyone's doing, so
get a gauge of how fast everyone else is going.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. So coming into 2017, we kind of covered a few of them, but has there been any like massive changes in your like setup or preparation or anything like that?
Not really. Just pretty much the same as last year. It's been good. I've been riding my downhill bike a lot more than I normally do now, so that's been good. Just trying to get on that and be ready for the first round of the World Cup. But no major changes. Pretty much team wise, same as last year.
Yeah.
Everything stays the same.
That's good. A little bit more settled coming into the year, I guess. Like, kind of a bit more familiar with everybody, the surroundings, and how the team works and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, definitely. No, it should be good.
For sure. Any major bike changes? Obviously, you talked about a new bike, I guess. But kind of when you said, I've got it written down to talk to you and ask you if there's been any bike changes. But obviously, in between, you've told me that you're pretty much changing the bike. So
yeah, so that's all really. I'm sure there'll be photos emerging around when we race the nationals on it. So that'll be good. Got 2 weeks in Queenstown of testing, so I'm really looking forward to that, just to see how the new bike will go. So it should be good.
Sweet. No, it should be good, man. And as far as you personally, what are your like expectations coming into 2017?
Always set my expectations quite high, because winning a World Cup definitely makes you more hungrier and want to keep on doing it, because the feeling is so good. So ultimately would be to win another World Cup or numerous ones. But I just want to be consistent, top 10 and try to get back on those podiums. Yeah.
Is there like a track that I guess coming into 2017, like you look forward to getting to? I guess you kind of need to rekindle the love for Lords, but so maybe that one, for example.
Third time lucky.
Is there anything? Yeah, third time lucky, exactly. My fingers and toes will be crossed for you, bro, coming into that round. Don't worry.
Cheers, bro.
But is there like a track you look forward to getting to, or kind of see yourself really like peaking like at that exact one?
Mount St. Anne, always.
Yep. Okay.
Just because it's just gnarly shit. It's just like I like fast stuff that you can just push the boundaries and obviously see how fast you can go, because that track's so wide open.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been the same for how many years, and they always do a change. But I like that track just because it's like just balls to the wall, just
moto style,
no backing
ride
off
and stuff. So yeah.
Get
Get off the brakes.
and we need
loose.
more. Yeah. We need more tracks like that, like Leo Gang. That's
Yep.
that's pretty basic. It's
Yeah, what do you think of the tracks right now?
I like, to be honest, I don't. I mean, it's like it would be such good. It would be so good to have a change, like mix it up.
Mm-hmm.
Fort William is always going to be good, I like that track too. But the likes of Leo Gang,
Bike park stuff.
Bike park stuff. It's all one line and nothing. It doesn't really separate any riders. You need to bring back like Chompery and Schladming.
Yeah, for sure.
All the good tracks. It'd be good to bring all those back.
Do you think it's a lot of it's TV coverage or not? Like trying to make it easy for people to watch, or
I think
or easy to film. Sorry.
Yeah. I think it's to do with that, and I guess like the resorts of having to pay to host the World Cup there. So I think it's I think it's whoever's got the money to do that sort of thing.
Yeah, like you though, man. I want to see it gnarly and riders going to tracks and been like excited to ride the places and stuff like that. And I think from what I've heard, that's kind of Bryceland's deal. He sounds like he's a little bit bored of the whole World Cup scene, which is cool. Like it's fair enough.
Yeah, I think the same as Sam as well. Sam Hill, I think. Kind of over riding the same tracks for numerous years, and like I just don't. Yeah, and I agree with those guys for sure too. It's a bit disappointing when you go to a track like Leo Gang and it's pretty straightforward, like it's got boom sections and then into a straight we go in like 50, 60k and then into a little bit of technical woods and then a rock garden and then a chute and then you kind of finish. It's pretty, when it sounds like that, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, especially when you put it like that.
Yeah, and everything's so close. Like the times are so tight. Nothing's
it's
really
more dangerous
separated.
too because you're just really on the limit, just trying to get a 10th somewhere or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And I'd like to see it go back to old school,
I think everybody would, man. I think people need to rally together, get some gnarly tracks again.
Yeah.
I don't know. Get the riders together. A little bit of a protest.
It would be sick to get all those.
Get Bryceland as the head of
back.
it.
Get
Josh
him
there.
He'll sort them out.
Get Josh as a spokesman. That'd be rad.
Yeah, it would be. It would be good to see. Hopefully, there is a change that they can do.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know. I've been thinking about Josh's deal for a little while. I think it's cool what he's done in some respects. I think it's, a lot of people don't see that side of it, that, maybe
not at all.
Bored
and
of
like,
it. And
people just speculate, he's this guy who's a hippie and just doesn't want to race anymore. But like, I definitely, I understand where he's coming from and like his whole deal of everything.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, he's home.
and like, and I can see where he comes from on his side, and I just think like, that whole 51
thing they've got going is pretty cool too. Like,
it's sick.
I think it's rad.
Sick, man. They're doing a good job and just like changing the whole scene of riding. Like, just what do they call it? Jibbing? Is it jibbing?
Yeah, I think
jibbing.
I think little Josh Lewis may have started a lot of that stuff, which is pretty cool. Obviously, I know Josh quite well from being a Sheffield lad, and I like it. I think it's cool what they're doing. That whole scene's pretty big. I think, again, looking at it, it's kind of like you can branch off and make a little money as well. Making edits and having fun.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to be on that World Cup scene or anything like that. I think it's cool. Like, and I think more people should maybe do that. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, you guys need to make wages at the end of the day, and a lot of people forget that sometimes, that it is a job. It still has to pay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But
I
don't know.
Sure.
When you've maybe been at Josh's level, made a bunch of money for a few years. I don't know if it's a bunch. It's probably quite good, but maybe take a little bit of time off.
I guess and I guess when you, and like we get to the point where, like, obviously he was too, and like he was kind of not motivated to, put the work in and do that. And then there's like I talked to him, and it's like, well, what's the point of being there if you're not motivated? You might as well go out and enjoy what you like to do, and instead of racing and just
Totally.
Obviously, he enjoyed racing and loved like riding his bike, but just I don't think there's any point being there and doing that. I'd be in the same boat. If I wasn't motivated to go and win races, then what's the point of being there, eh?
It's kind of like the free ride movement back in the day from moto. That's kind of how I look at it. It's like, I know you've got obviously like not dual slalom, but like slope style and stuff, but they're kind of getting into that whole free ride thing of just riding your bike and having fun and making edits. I think it's cool. Like they're the modern metal militia in some respects, I think.
yeah, definitely. It's cool to see, and it's the same with that sport. Like you're a rider who's going to an event and putting your life on the line of throwing massive tricks and getting fifth or sixth, whereas you thought you should have thought that you could have been top three. And you get to the point where you're like, screw this, I'm over doing this stuff. I may as well go out and just ride my bike for fun and jump big shit or throw gnarly tricks over whatever. It's like I look at like Andre Leconaghy.
Yeah,
he's a good example. Like, massive fan of him. He's a sick rider, and like obviously he's a guy who doesn't like contests. I don't think he's a massive fan of all the judging, and I think like what he's done for the sport of like going to all those the Huck Fest and the Fest series, those guys are killing it. I think like that sort of free ride is maybe going to grow and get bigger, and hopefully it does one day. So it'd be good, like
the thing is, you kind of like start rooting for those guys a little more. Like I do personally. Again, I'm going to relate this back to moto because it's easiest. But like you start looking at when, like, let's say Josh Hansen does a supercross race. Like I'm pulling for that dude. Like I don't care who wins. I just want Hanny to do good. But he's the guy that's out riding in the hills and having fun and stuff. And hopefully, actually, I'm trying to get Andrea, who I call him, or Andrew, but to do a podcast pretty soon. But he's a hard dude to get a hold of. Like. he's like ultimate dude. Like he doesn't really answer his phone or emails or anything like that. Like we distribute Ninja's gloves, and Andrea used to ride for Ninjas, and he's really good friends with Svetty, who's the owner.
Yeah,
and Svetty was saying he's like, he's hard as hell to get a hold of. Like you won't hear from him for like months, and then all of a sudden he'll just pop up. So fingers crossed it's gonna happen. But we'll wait and see.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it'd be pretty rad to have a chat with him. See what his deal is with that stuff. So
for sure.
But definitely I love what the 50 to 1 dudes are doing and
yeah, me too. It's good. It's good to see. It's good to see for mountain biking.
Yeah, definitely.
Itself.
Definitely. I wanted to ask you one little thing which we can't really speak too much about, but I know you're going to be doing some filming with a friend of mine. Joe wanted, kind of just to. I don't know, I'm kind of just laying the foundations out there already because this thing's got a bit of a following now. And Joe was saying he likes hype, but there is going to be like a Steel City Media film. Brook's going to be in it along with some other people. And I'm guessing you're going to be filming that before the World Cup season starts?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, we're going to be doing some filming early March, I think.
Yeah, I know he's heading out there next month,
early
next month.
Next month, he's coming out next month,
Yeah, that's right, he's coming out next month. Joe just wanted, he's like, ask him, and kind of, there you go. I've laid some foundations out there for people who don't already know, but there's going to be like a kind of feature thing. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun too.
Yeah. It's going to be sick. It's it should be good because there hasn't been a movie like something like this for a long time come out, so
definitely.
Hopefully it's gonna blow some people's minds.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so. From what I've seen and what I've heard, I can't say too much, which is really frustrating. But keep them peeled, folks. There's going to be some cool stuff happening next year.
For sure.
My last question, which I wanted to ask you, so who else do you feel for 2017, apart from you, is going to be on fire? Do you think there's going to be like another Gwynn, Danny Hart kind of thing going on, or do you see anyone else?
I don't know. It's.
Do you pay much attention to other people, kind of, on social media, I guess, and stuff like that?
Yeah, I follow most of the riders, but I don't. I'm not. I kind of just look at them, what they're up to, sort of thing, and carry on. I don't. Yeah. It's hard to say because like every year there's always someone that's come through. Like you're always going to have your Aaron Gwynns and Greg Minars there.
Yeah.
But it's always like like Lucas Shaw last year. He had an awesome season, and same with like Loris Vergier.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know.
So everyone's looking pretty healthy, which is good. Like it should be a bunch of fit people.
Yeah.
I mean, you start naming those names. There's 10, maybe more people who could win the first round if you ask me. And that's good. That's what you want coming into the first race. You want that. You don't want it.
Yeah, for sure.
A whitewash.
And it's good because like you just don't want the same person winning each time. Like last year, it was sick to see Danny win 3 World Cups in a row.
Well,
3 World Cups and World Champs. It was sick.
Yeah, it was.
So it's good. I mean, you, Aaron Gwynn, Denny, Greg, Conor Fearon, Loic.
Yeah,
all those guys.
Definitely.
All those guys are definitely, guys to watch for.
Excited for it already, man.
Yeah, but you just never know. Like, it's hard to say who's going to win, who's going to be in the top 10. It's always anyone in the top 20 could win a World Cup. I think.
Really? Wow. Yeah,
I think
you're right.
Because
no, you're right, 100%.
Everyone's going so fast these days.
And obviously conditions changed and all that sort of stuff. So if it's wet, you're going to get a Euro rider, maybe going a little bit better. No offense, but probably will. Yeah, definitely. I'm stoked for the season. And last thing, actually, I wanted to ask you, which I totally forgot about. What are your thoughts on social media? Like, I always like to try and get a bit of a what's the word? Kind of your feedback on social media, because social media is basically it's changing the game a little bit as far as sponsorship goes and stuff like that. What?
Yeah, I think.
Go on. I'll let you go, man.
It's massive in our. It's so important for us. Social media, like the following that we get, is definitely important for our careers. Like sponsors look at your following and your social media of how how good a following you have. You could be. I mean, I'm not saying Wynn's a bad rider, but like he has had some pretty unlucky seasons, and you look at his following. Like he's a good example of someone who is putting so much media out there. As a following, over 100,000 followers on Instagram, and it's
crazy.
just from his Wheelie Wednesdays and,
the
and
Wheelie
all that
Wednesday
sort of
stuff.
thing.
Yeah.
And that when you can fall back on your social media following and sponsors. That's definitely really important to your sponsors and how it all works is definitely it's cool to see. Like I never thought in this day. Well, from when I first started racing, I didn't think social media was really important until like I joined Red Bull and those guys kind of introduced me to all that sort of, Instagram wasn't around then, but like Facebook and Twitter.
Right.
And
I mean, you've got a really big following.
And
I'm guessing they like
cool
that.
To see. Like I never ever thought that I would have a following like that. Like, it's cool to see. Like, it's awesome just to see how much it grows over the year and like how many people how many people are following you and interested in what you're doing. It's awesome.
And that's kind of what I enjoy doing this. It's kind of
sorry,
cool.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that's kind of like what I've enjoyed about this thing. I mean, we were saying before we started that I literally started this podcast chatting to my friends and I was just throwing it out. And being brutally honest, it's got a little bit harder as time's gone on because the guests have got bigger. And it's like, I mean, obviously you seem like a rad dude, but we don't really know each other, and it makes it a little bit harder. But it's awesome to see it like grow, and it's kind of cool to give you guys a bit of a platform to engage with your fans in a different way. You know, it's not print media, it's not just social media posts, it's something a little bit more personal. And that's kind of what I've liked about it so far. And you know, again, we were chatting maybe before, I can't remember, but that there's no kind of, it's no what's the word? It's no surprise that other media outlets are going to jump on doing them. Like, I think it's a good way of getting out there for sure.
Yeah, it is for sure. It's awesome. Like, like you said, it's pretty easy to listen to a podcast. You know.
Yeah.
You know, you got a spare hour or so to sit down, and it's pretty much like, you know, listening to music. But
I might be wrong, but like, I think my prediction is it won't be long until some riders have got their own one, because I mean, I'm not a huge fan, but like in UFC, there's a lot of fighters that have just got a podcast on the side and they just do them as and when. And I think
really,
that'd be
awesome.
yeah. I think that's kind of where I can see this going with mountain biking stuff. Is just, I mean, motocross again. Like if you look at moto, there's so many moto podcasts, and there's
there is
like I'm a huge podcast fan, but I didn't know that like Jeremy McGrath's got a podcast. I had no idea up until like a week ago, and I was like, oh shit, like I'll check that out.
That's cool.
There's so many, and I think that's maybe the way this will go. I might be wrong, but that's kind of the way.
Oh, definitely. I could see Petey being the one to
Steve
start that up for sure.
Steve would be the boy. That'd be hilarious. That'd be really fun. that'd be good.
He could be. I could see him being one of the guys starting something like that up.
Yeah, and I think, I don't know, I'm not putting words into their mouths, but I think like a 50-1 kind of thing with like, I mean, having Josh on one of these would be hilarious. Like it would just be a laugh.
Yeah, it'd be sick.
So that'd be cool.
I wouldn't be surprised if 50-1 have something like that coming soon.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But there's plenty of space for it. There's plenty.
Yeah, there
that's
is.
One thing you've got to remember. There's plenty. So anyway, right.
Yep.
So I like to keep these things around this sort of time, so we'll quickly do some listener questions. This is cool, man. Like, it's so weird, like you were saying, having a following, that we actually get listener questions now. It's crazy.
It's cool, eh?
It's fun. Like we get a bunch of people submit some stuff, and I usually just choose the best ones and put them to you, and there you go.
Yep.
So,
sweet. Fire away.
First one. I've only got a few, but at DS Sims on Instagram.
Dan Sims. I know.
Yeah,
Dan
I'm going to say you probably know him, right?
New Zealand boy.
Yeah, I guess he is. I think so. Now, you've spoken about this a little bit anyway, but I'm going to ask you. He said, we understand GT are working on a new chassis. What was your involvement in its development, and what are the key changes you promoted?
I can't really talk too much about that.
Okay.
But, we'll
come back to you, Dan.
Come back to you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we'll let you know in a few weeks. I'll post them up on our podcast stuff.
But I definitely did have a lot of input into it.
Okay. That's good.
You know, myself, Sam, and Wynn and Jackson. It's nothing. It's not a new bike, but it's just a few changes to the old one. So, you'll see in a couple of weeks.
Okay, there we go. Shout out GT. All right. Next one. At Cam Cole, MTV. Yeah, everyone probably knows who Cam is.
everyone knows Cam Cole. I was just going to say this is a good question from Cam.
Oh, yeah, you saw it. Okay, so what are your biggest challenges ahead of the 2017 season? And since 2010, and disregarding results, what has been your best World Cup race run?
So, best World Cup race run would have had to been 2012 Val d'Isère when I won my World Cup.
Okay.
Been at the top with UCAM. Qualified
of course.
First position.
Sweet.
But that would have to be my best run for sure.
Okay. Who else was on the podium with you? My memory's terrible. So you, Cam.
It was me, Josh, Cam. I think Cam maybe crashed in his final run or had something.
Okay.
Me, Cam. Oh, sorry, me, Josh. I think me, G, Josh, Greg, and Gwyn. I think it was.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that's who it was.
My memory's terrible sometimes. I'll post the video. I'm going to find it on YouTube and I'll post it.
Yeah. What was the other question? Biggest
And
challenges for 2017?
Yeah, what are the biggest challenges ahead of the 2017 season?
Oh, biggest challenges. Biggest challenges, obviously getting podiums. That's a challenge in its own self. But yeah, just hopefully just being consistently in the top 10. That's always a challenge for myself.
Yeah.
And staying on my bike and going fast.
Keep a rubber side down, dude. Rubber side down.
Rubber side down.
Nice, sweet, right. And next one, God, I don't know how to say this guy's name, but it's at CHO'S on Instagram.
CHO'S.
Yeah, awesome Instagram account name, but anyway. Who started the nickname Bulldog?
Win Masters.
Yeah.
Masters started that
Okay.
back in, I don't know when it was, maybe 2010 or 11, I think.
Any
Just
reason
come
for it,
from, I just think the way I'm built.
Yeah.
I think I'm built like I think those guys. Well, he thinks I'm built like a bit of a bulldog, and just the big slams I take as well.
Okay.
Take some pretty heavy slams and tend to get back up from them. Which is always a good sign.
Bro. It's a fitting nickname.
Yeah.
I like it. Right, last one, dude, and we're going to let you get off because there's no doubt a really nice day in New Zealand, and it's
it is. It's
not
beautiful
here in the UK. Last one, at Steel City Media, obviously our boy Joe. Who would you rather fight, Sambo or Petey? You know what? There's always a fight question. Whenever we do this, there's always somebody who wants to know about a fight. So there you go.
Who would I fight? Oh.
It's got to be to
That's
the
a
death,
hard
too,
one.
man. Fight to the death.
To the death.
Yeah, it's to the death.
Oh. No, I wouldn't fight those two boys.
No?
Nah.
Yeah, what if you had to?
What if I had to?
Yeah.
Shit. Probably. I don't know. Probably Petey.
Yeah? Out cardio him?
I reckon I'm gonna give him a good go. Good. I've got good reach on the arms.
I don't know, man. He's into his boxing, I think, these days. Yeah. Solid leg kick. You're on it.
Yeah, I'll kick him in the nuts and he'll drop, and then I'll be on top and I'll just be McGregoring his face. So watch out, Petey. If you're listening, watch out. The Mac attack's coming.
All right, well, if we can get him on, I'll ask him the same thing. Throw your name in the hat, see what happens. Maybe we can arrange a rumble somewhere. World champs.
I think I'll stay away from Sambo.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a rum old lad, Sambo. I bet Sambo can handle himself pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, man. Well,
I think, yeah.
It's been a blast. Much appreciated.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, man. Have you got any shout outs you want to give, or where can people follow you? Hit up your Instagram and stuff like that.
Yeah, just follow me at Brook Macdonald 6.
Yep.
Facebook Brook Macdonald. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, just big shout out to you boys for having me on here. It's been awesome.
Welcome. No problem at all.
Thanks for having me.
It. It's pleasure, man. Absolute pleasure. It's cool. It's awesome to be having, again, I'd say, I'm not going to say higher profile, but like I said, we started off a little bit smaller with some of the UK guys, and now, getting some of the World Cup guys on is pretty cool. It's interesting. It's definitely been a new challenge for me, I spoke to Joe about this a lot. My downhill knowledge sometimes is a little off. I don't have an amazing memory, so sometimes it's really difficult to think all the way back to races and stuff like that. But it's cool just to sit down and just have a generic chat with people and
it's good. It's good, bro. It's just some of the podcasts I listen to is just it's just a good old chat about fighting. Obviously you're racing, fighting, and just anything, because people are always interested at listening to what other people have to say.
Well, it seems like people are enjoying our episodes, and this one's been a blast. So, again, thank you very much, man. I really appreciate it.
No worries, man.
Sweet. Well, you go enjoy your day. And
sweet. You enjoy the cold Sheffield steel.
My cold house
winter.
I forgot to put the heating on before I went out. It sucks. Sweet,
yeah,
dude. You
Sweet.
take it easy.
Cool.
Have a good one. Peace.
You too.
Bye.
Cheers, bro. See ya.
Boom. There we go. Episode number 18, I believe that is. I'm starting to lose track. Is in the bag. Awesome conversation with Brook. Yeah. I hope everyone else really enjoyed that episode. It was super easy to just sit and have a chat with him, like you were saying at the end. But again, I can't kind of reiterate enough. Andrew Cho's GoFundMe page will be in the episode description, so check that out. You know, if we can donate a little bit of money, I'll be doing some personally. Let's see what we can kind of help out with. So yeah, let's do that. Don't forget, if you did enjoy this episode, let us know. Drop us a Facebook message, Instagram message. You can also email podcast@hookitproducts.co.uk. Let us know any feedback, if it's positive, negative. I don't mind. It's all good. And if you can, I always preach for this, but head over to iTunes and leave us a review if you can do that. You just simply head to iTunes, hit the review point of the part of the Hookit podcast, and just leave a few words there. Let us know what you think. Hopefully you can leave us a 5-star review as well. It really helps the podcast grow. It helps get it out there to more people. And obviously don't forget to give us a follow on social media. It's at the Hookit podcast, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter is just at Hookit Products. We may be having a bit of a rebrand soon, but I'll keep you guys posted on that. And that's about it. Have a great week. See you guys later. Peace.